samurai. We have a city to burn.
You disgust me.
Who gives a shit?
Go on.
I made it the fuck up. And it. And it. And it. And it. And it is glorious. And I run.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is your t-shirted historian. And it is Tuesday with Geeks. And I'm joined by my co-host, I say, Ironcaster.
Hello.
And our special guest today, Ronan66.
Hola, what's up, y'all?
Hey, it's good to see you, man.
Oh, yeah.
And it's your first time on this show.
Is it?
It is. It is. I've been on yours a couple of times, but this is the first time I brought you over to this one. So
I thought I popped in here once or twice, but I guess I get around, to say the least.
Well, I am glad you're here, man. We do have a little bit of anime to discuss. It's just one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you in. But we also have some pop culture stuff to talk about, so I hope you can keep up.
I will try my best.
All right. Well, we would be joined by Left Eye Ego or Victor, but they are off on Left Eye Ego's stream promoting Victor's Kickstarter, which is awesome, I think. I'm glad, actually, because, Victor is doing real well.
What's he trying to kickstart?
Well, let me bring it up. We'll go ahead and we'll promote him anyway, even if he's not on the channel today. He's promoting Modern Necessities, the modern setting rules for OSE, for Old School Essentials. And here's our show to it. Right here. As you can see, he's already passed his $4,000 goal. He's still got 25 days to go. He's already hit his second stretch goal.
So to help to fill you in, this is Modern Necessities is his role-playing game based in the Old School Essentials system that takes a classic fantasy setting and system and brings it to a modern day with many firearms. So
wow.
if you remember that movie on Netflix, Bright, think something like that.
Yep. Or you could do any number of other types of settings. As a matter of fact, part of his stretch goals are single action and cutting edge, which is his cyberpunk book. So now you could effectively do Shadowrun using his system.
And single action is Weird West. So
yes.
Think Wild Wild West.
Mm-hmm. And it's really cool stuff. I know he's been working on this stuff for a while now. So it should be pretty sweet. This is his next stretch goal, is the Bunker into Badlands.
So is he doing like a hard release? Like I'm because this is tabletopers, it's just going to be like a PDF file that people can download and use.
So
he's got multiple options for it. He's got the digital PDF, and he's got softcover print on demand plus digital.
Yeah, so a lot of this you'll be able to get through websites like DriveThruRPG after it comes out. Mm-hmm. So what he's doing is by buying with the physical copies, you're basically getting a code to be able to redeem and get your copy print on demand.
Mm-hmm.
So, so he doesn't have a warehouse full of books sitting there that he's hoping and praying people will buy.
Yeah.
Right.
It kind of makes sense for a small indie publisher types. But he's already successfully kickstarted a few other things, so he's got a good track record, and this took off very, very fast. So
I did notice that Necrotic Gnome made sure to put this in their latest email. So he's getting marketing.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. I mean, I wish him all the success. Like I said, he's another panelist here on our show. He's been a friend of the channel for a long time. I think it's great. Nothing but the best to Victor. And like I said, if you are catching this show right now, make sure you catch Left Eye Ego's stream. I'll see if I can't bring it up so that you can pass you the link at the end of this show, so you can catch it on the flip side. Or if you're watching that one, I hope you're catching this one on the flip side. It's all good, right? All right. So, what do we got for tonight? Caster?
Oh, sorry. That's very good. That's a very good question. We were having a little bit of a discussion earlier today, trying to figure out just what do we want to go about, and it's like, well, there's a couple things going on that I don't think were necessarily in the purview of stuff that we really wanted to talk about, because it's not the fun stuff. Although it is a little fun. But no, the idea for tonight was, let's talk about some anime to look forward to. A little bit of what's good out right now. Not what's good from 20 years ago, because we could talk about Yu Yu Hakusho, or we could talk about Fist the North Star, but let's get something a little more concurrent.
Yeah. I actually do want to get into the whole Sweet Baby thing, because the more I read about it, the more angry it makes me. But everybody else is kind of covering that too, so I think we'll probably save that for the end. So why don't I start with a little bit of show and tell, just to kind of start things off. I'm not planning on getting into this too much on this stream. I'm actually going to save it for Saturday. But I will say that because of Kelsey's treatment of Victor, the way that she's been pretty kind to him, especially with people who kind of went after him on social media, I thought that was really cool. I think that that woman's pretty stand up, and I decided I'm going to go ahead and support her work. So I went ahead and bought my copy of Shadow Dark directly from her website, and it just arrived yesterday. And I can say, well, I don't want to give away a whole bunch about this. Like, I want to get into it more on Saturday, but I will say, I like the size of the book because it's small.
T-shirt, would you care to give the elevator pitch real quick? Because Ronan, I don't think is quite aware of what Shadow Dark exactly is. Okay.
No.
Well, for those who don't know, back when Wizards of the Coast started all their OSR, OGL, I should say, fuckery.
About a year ago.
Yeah, about a year ago. Well, a year or two, I think, at this point. But they started all their OGL fuckery, saying, "Oh, we're gonna change and modify the OGL and everything." A lot of people got upset and split from the 5e brand from Wizards of the Coast, and were looking for alternatives. Well, into those alternatives popped a Kickstarter for this game, Shadow Dark, which marries a lot of the old school Renaissance concepts with some of the 5e concepts to make a very nice game that kind of blends both pretty seamlessly. So it's very easy to get into if you're an OSR player, and it's very easy to get into if you're a 5th edition player. I've looked over it myself, and I actually like it. Like I said, I originally backed it as a show of support for Kelsey, for finding out, how cool she actually was and what a stand-up person she was. because I have always maintained, and I will always maintain, we support our friends on this channel. And if you're supporting my friends, I'm going to support you. So I'm making good on my promise. I bought a copy of it, and I have to say I have not been disappointed with it. I really think it's cool. I do want to run this at some point. I think it's a lot of fun. But I'm going to get into the nuts and bolts and nitty gritty of it on Saturday with some other guys who hopefully have a copy of it as well, including Victor.
Dude, that is so cool. I might actually have to pick that up because buddies of mine got me into D&D years ago. I think right around the time 5e first started. And I kind of started to see the fuckery that Wizards was doing because they were doing it with Magic. And that got me out of Magic, and also got me out of really doing too much D&D stuff because of all that. Because I was loving the adventure books that you could buy, the kind of Adventures of Waterdeep and stuff like that. Like I loved running those campaigns.
Oh yeah, okay. See, and that's cool.
But yeah, like I got really into it because Amazon was always having like the books half off.
Yeah.
And
they sold them like cheap.
Oh yeah, like normally they're 60, they were 30. So I've got a lot of the books before they started really going back and rewriting them. Like I have the original Curse of Strahd before it got rewritten and re-released in that really cool coffin set that I still kind of want to get.
I have both versions, but yeah, there's a little bit of Sweet Baby in the second version, in the coffin version, I can say.
Which we found out that Sweet Baby did in fact work with Wizards of the Coast.
Uh-huh.
That's
hey, it's Thunder Moose.
Not a surprise.
Dude, I am so glad to see you here, man. But to kind of bring everything back on track, I don't think I showed this off when I got it. So, and if I did, I apologize if I'm doing it again. But these are some of my latest anime acquisitions. I got Satoshi Kon's Paranoia Agent.
I remember when they aired this on Toonami on Adult Swim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is one of those ones that I put his works like really high up there as far as like psychological fuckery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one is I've not sat through the entire thing yet. I plan on getting a lot of watching done next weekend. But this is the complete series, and it looks gorgeous. And it is an old Funimation copy.
There's about one or two episodes that really stand out in my mind. And it's like the one where the woman's having like the kind of split personality thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of the episodes that's always really stuck with me all these years later. I haven't watched it since it was on TV, but that episode I will never forget.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time since I've watched it. Like I bought it last year for $5 on the because what is it? The Xbox or Microsoft Store always runs a anime month, heavy discounts on anime during the month of February and some other time during the year. So I got like the entire series for $5.
Dang.
Yeah.
Is it still good, or did they take it away from you?
It's digital. You know, I have not checked yet because it was under the Funimation umbrella. So I don't know where that sits as far as licensing through Xbox. So I don't know because a lot of that stuff was Funimation. So.
Yeah, this is a Funimation original, so it has a digital copy thing in here, which I imagine is only useful for toilet paper now.
Pretty much.
So I hadn't even bothered trying to redeem it. But the main thing, and this is going to sound funny, what pulled me to this work is this guy. The soundtrack is done by Susumu Hirasawa, who I have several of his CDs because I actually like his music. And also, Susumu Hirasawa was a big fan of Kentaro Miura and the Berserk series. In fact, Susumu Hirasawa did all of the music for every Berserk iteration that there is.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I wonder if
that's
he's
really
doing
cool.
the music for the Black Swordsman arc that they're working on right now.
I don't know. I'm really stoked about it. I'm very excited.
It
And
looks good.
I pre-ordered the 97 Berserk series for from Discotech.
Yes.
So that should be showing up this month.
Yes. Have you ever watched Serial Experiments Lane?
Yes, a long time ago.
Okay. Paranoia Agent is on that same level as Lane.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The same kind of psychological assault to your mind as you watch it. But yeah, I think like if you enjoyed Lane, you're going to enjoy Agent.
Okay. Well, that's more than one recommendation, so I'm definitely excited to cracking this open and taking a look at it. But the other one I'm very excited to check out. I got this the other day, and it's a little bit more light, but still fun. Is this particular anime, which came out back in the 90s, is Parallel Trouble Adventure Duel. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
I've never heard of this.
Same.
Oh, okay. It is a gosh, I forget the term for it now. I should probably know it because it's like every anime is one of these now.
Isekai?
Isekai?
It is an isekai. This guy comes from a parallel world into a world with giant mecha and stuff, and apparently he has a doppelganger / a dual person who is just like him and everything in this world. If I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I've seen this, but it's got lots of mecha action. It's got comedy. It's got lots of drama. It's a really cool show. And did I mention it has mecha?
That sounds cool.
Uh-huh. All I can say is it's another Discotech Media original, and anything Discotech is almost always worth your time to check out because they're just really good at putting out classic anime that everybody likes. This one is 14 episodes, standard definition on one Blu-ray disc because it's the whole series, but I finally get to finish it. The other one I'm hoping that they will do in the near future is Trouble Chocolate. And nobody's heard of that, right?
No.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Oh my god. You kids. Okay. So, how to describe Trouble... I remember less about Trouble Chocolate than I do about Duel, but I remember I enjoyed both of them very much. I never got to finish Trouble Chocolate. I hope somebody will pick it up and put out a new version of it. But in the meantime, this is one I'd recommend. I'll probably talk more about it after I've had a chance to watch it again and refresh my memory. Because it has been a long time. But,
I got the little bio pulled up for you.
You got the bio pulled up? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Cacao. All the characters are named after different types of chocolates and things like cacao and all these other things.
Cacao, a student at the Micro Grand Academy, wakes up one morning to find a girl made of wood sleeping in bed with him. She is Hinao. A tree spirit. Hinao.
Hinano.
Oh, you're right. I see there. Hinano. A tree spirit who possessed the body of a wooden puppet after Cacao messed up his magical teacher's spell. Having taken an instant liking to Cacao, Hinano enrolls in his school. Between Hinano, monsters, two strange twins, and their four-eyed cat master, a demon boy, odd teachers and students, and the fact that he may have the potential to be one of the greatest magic users of all time, Cacao's life seems to have taken several turns for the worse. And the weird.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty funny, if I remember. I watched it with friends back at the time, so it's kind of hard to remember because mostly we were too busy laughing at each other's reactions than we were watching the show.
Nice.
Well, if you're gonna go that route, you might as well also pick up what was it, Ghost Stories
I love
with its
those
legendary
stories.
dub,
Oh boy. Oh no.
which I believe Discotheque also recently revealed that they were releasing.
Yeah, I think I heard that. That's Ghost Stories. That's not to be confused with Ghost Sweeper Mikami, right?
Right, I believe
Okay.
so.
All right. 'Cause Ghost Sweeper Mikami is one I'd like to see. But Matt, what have you been watching lately?
Oh my gosh, what haven't I been watching? I'm watching a bunch of anime that's airing right now because that's kind of what I'm focusing the channel on, is like kind of the most recent animes each season. So I pick like 10, 15, 20 animes to watch. And yeah, a lot of anime watching in the past year and a half now.
I tell you what, I am right there with you. There's been a lot of modern stuff I've been checking out. Like this season has really taken my interest and filled up my free time.
Oh yeah, like I just downloaded an app the other day called AniDub, and it's been letting me watch anime a lot easier on my phone than having to go to my normal site to watch things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a lot of the current anime up on there. But yeah, I used to say that anime hadn't really advanced with its style since the 80s and 90s. And I'm having to retract what I said, because now it's more that I just wasn't watching enough anime to notice. But I mean, this season, last season, definitely showed that I really think modern anime would put, and y'all are probably going to hurt me for this, but modern anime would probably put 80s and 90s anime to shame with what it's doing right now.
Depends.
Story wise and animation wise, I really think that there's anime out there that's hitting so many good notes, and we're getting more good than bad.
I would probably agree with you on the story side, but maybe not so much the animation side, because, one of the nice things with the modern stuff is we're able to kind of do a lot more with computers, but it's also allowed for a lot of laziness to be able to slip through.
Yes.
Like nothing will quite have the same look and style of those hand-drawn, cel-shaded, episodes from classic stuff.
When I say better, I guess I should more say that it's different. Like, I wasn't seeing the same level of animation that I was seeing like throughout the 2000s and the 2010s. Like the anime that I was watching, it just wasn't, I didn't feel it was there or on par with anime from the 80s and 90s. Like I was like, when did anime get so lazy?
Right.
And now, like, there was an anime season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen last season. They had a point in their season that there was so much happening on screen, it broke my brain, literally, because there was just so much going on and so much animation being done that I couldn't comprehend what was happening on screen, and it was just so impressive to me.
I just finished season 1, so I've got to go jump into season 2.
Let me remind you of one thing, though. If it wasn't for those 80s and 90s anime, the stuff that we have now would not have a foundation to be built upon, because as I constantly cite, Fist of the North Star is the reason for Berserk. It is.
Well,
It
yeah,
is.
but,
It is the thing
the thing is-
behind.
but
Ken
but the-
Ashura. It is the thing behind Baki. It is the thing behind JoJo. So
Yes.
all those old 80s and 90s anime are the foundational stones that all the current anime are built on.
Well,
yes,
yeah, that's
and
true. But the thing is, though, if we're talking about objectively comparing, like the more current series are gonna, in theory, in some cases be just objectively better for a storytelling standpoint. Those are a starting place, and they are in many cases masterpieces in their own rights.
Mhm.
But if the question is comparing and looking at them, we have to be honest and admit there's a couple of times not everything from then was perfect or amazing.
No,
and
no.
some
Even-
things may not have necessarily aged as well with time.
No, I mean, even old Bubblegum Crisis episodes. I love Bubblegum Crisis to death, but, a friend and I actually went back and tried to watch it. We were just kind of like, wow, some of this stuff didn't age so well. But, I mean, that doesn't detract from the fact that the shit was fantastic for the time period, especially.
Yes,
And there's definitely one anime that still holds up, even to this day. And I don't think you guys will disagree with me on it. Vampire Hunter D.
I like D, but I don't know. I mean, like I'm saying, I don't want to seem like I'm taking away from those older shows, because yes, they are the basis for everything. They're the start of the reason why we have what we have, because if they weren't as good as they were, then anime wouldn't have progressed. But the more that I see, the more of what I'm seeing that's coming out now, I find it really hard to make those recommendations to people to go back and watch older shows, because Demon Slayer. Have either of y'all seen Demon Slayer?
I need to catch up on it, but no.
Okay, okay.
Admittedly, I have not either.
Oh,
I
But
have
have y'all
read a bit of
seen
the manga,
clips?
so I not really.
like, have y'all seen clips for it?
It's one I keep meaning to get to. I know the word of mouth around it is so strong.
It is, and it is another one that just, I feel, really started off this kind of new generation of technique for the way animation is done, where it's a really good blend of CG over the top of 2D animation. So it just gives this very distinct style and technique that's coming out.
There's definitely modern anime that I absolutely adore, and I thought I'd mention a few of them because it's controversial, but I'm gonna say I really enjoyed Made in Abyss. I thought that was an awesome story. Say what you will about the characters in it, but it was really well done.
I think you'd find a few people that would be on that there with you, because I know, like, Made in the Abyss for a while was talked about how dark and how dark the story was. I watched the first season, and I don't know. I don't see it, I guess.
Oh, Dunder Moose has seen it too. Yeah, it is begging to be plopped into a D&D campaign. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. It would be perfect for that. A lot of the isekai that is out there right now is not bad, but I've really been enjoying this particular series right here. Unwanted Undead Adventurer.
Oh yeah,
which is not an isekai. It's actually its own thing. I've been watching it. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying the classic homage to 90s arcade gaming, High Score Girl. Naturally, I still like Kengan Ashura. And this is a masterpiece. This is like the nuclear option of good anime stories right now.
Are you caught up on it?
No, I'm not caught up on it yet. I think
Oh my
I'm-
god!
episode 13 is right where I'm actually I think it's episode 10 or 13 is right where I'm at. Yeah, I watched all the way. Yeah, 13 is the next one.
I'm currently at about episode 10 or 11 myself. I just got through with the executioner or the guillotine.
Oh,
So I got to see the end of that little fight.
Yeah,
which
she was
is
cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I'm not trying to take that show quick because it's going to end and then I'm going to be stuck waiting for years for another one to come out, just like I was waiting for a long time for Goblin Slayer, like I was waiting for Kengan Ashura. It'll probably be another couple of years before they put out another season of this. So I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah, so it's got 28 episodes. It's got 3 more left to do. And from what I have understood is that these 28 episodes will be caught up with the manga. So, yeah, it'll be a little while if we ever get a season 2, which is a big problem if we don't, because Madhouse is flexing with this anime.
Oh, yeah.
There are points that I'm just like, I didn't expect that out of them, and especially this last episode where, I just told you about Jujutsu Kaisen that had my brain kind of in mush while watching it. They pull off something very similar, if not just as impressive as Jujutsu Kaisen in that last episode. And like, again, with these modern animes, like the second half of Frieren, although has disappointed me a little bit, but it's still good. Like, it's still a good show.
Well, what shocked me is my producer, who pretty much has the attention span of a gnat, and I mean he knows it. It's like if it's not jam packed with action or comedy from beginning to end, he gets bored really easy and wants to turn it off and watch something else. So the fact that he actually told me that it was a good anime, that he really enjoyed it, was a shock. So I'm kind of like, wow, you actually were able to sit through something that is that kind of slow burn and then still enjoy it.
That's been the most surprising thing with this. And Frieren is a series that works on a few levels because, yes, it's an enjoyable little anime. We have a couple of attractive female characters in it, like Fern and Frieren herself. But the thing that I think really draws me, and I think many of us in the tabletop space to it, is the way it handles elves and just the idea of what would it be like for an elf to live on after all these friends and heroes who she's gone and adventured with have long since passed. For them, life is still there. They aren't changing, but the world around them is. What does it mean to have gone to these so many places and then come back decades, centuries later to see nothing is like you remember it?
What's kind of sad about it is, and I don't mean to say this like in a negative way or anything, but it kind of reminds me of the same relationship we have with our dogs or our pets, in that there's this lovable creature. I mean, now granted, a dog relies upon you for feeding and care and everything else, but in return, it gives you just, unrequited love and affection, absolute loyalty, etc., right? But it has a much shorter lifespan than you do. And so by some, I don't know how to explain it, but it does seem like dogs, the older they get, the more wise they get, the more grown up they get.
Well, humans effectively are elves to dogs. We will live on long past them. And for us, they'll be here for, just a small portion of our lives, but we'll be living on with their memories to carry along with us.
I mean, who hasn't had a pet of some kind, a dog, whatever, that hasn't, found a special place in their heart? And, you still remember fondly. And even though their lives were super duper short, you were the center of their world for that short time. Kind of makes you choke up a little bit, but
Yeah, I've had one too many pets who have gone too soon.
But hopefully we'll be able to get another season of Fear In. But before we get to that, I hope they get around to doing the next bit of Overlord after this upcoming movie they have.
Oh yeah, I just seen that the other day that they're doing a movie for Overlord.
oh boy, I hope it's good.
I
Back in the old days.
No, I want to blowing through Overlord in like a month, all 4 seasons of it, and I'm itching to get more. That is the RPG dream there. I want to play the overpowered like Uber hero, so I guess like 5e is kind of perfect for that.
No, I had Godbound. I had a game of Godbound going, but you were too busy.
I don't think I've finished season 4 now that I'm thinking about it.
I haven't finished season 4 yet, but I'm taking it slow. I take a lot of this stuff slow.
I just got caught up on so much other things to watch. I think I really just forgot about Overlord existing in season 4.
Well, I mean, after a while, a lot of this isekai does kind of run together. I mean, like I really have to have some really good, strong standouts, like Reincarnated as a Sword. I adore that show because Fran is so
a good one.
Fran is so cool. I mean, because Teacher himself is just like almost indestructible, but then you start realizing that Fran is she's the vulnerable one. She's the one who can die and get killed, and she's the one who gives his life meaning.
Yeah, I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. It definitely was an interesting show. I'll tell you one that just seemed interesting but became very disappointing by episode 3 or 4 was Reincarnated as a Vending Machine.
Yeah, I haven't finished it, but I've been slowly working my way through it. That one's fun.
The one isekai that I'm looking forward to coming up is season 3 for Konosuba. That is on my radar, and we only have about a month or so for it.
Ooh, yeah, I like Konosuba 1 and 2 a lot. Those were fun, especially the cabbage scene. The cabbage scene sticks out in my mind as the funniest damn thing I have seen in so long. I never stop laughing at that scene.
I don't know.
You've seen it.
I couldn't get into Konosuba. Like, I tried watching the first season. Actually, I might have finished the first season, and I wasn't liking it.
It may be a gamer thing.
I don't know. I just really don't know what it was that I like. There's not something I can point to and say, yeah, this is why I didn't like it. I guess I just wasn't connecting with the characters or liking the story that was being told. I don't know.
A couple of ones that were shockingly good to me were Campfire Cooking in Another World with my overpowered or my absurd skill. I love that one. I've gotten other people to watch that just because it's so fun, and the characters are so cute. And I'm really, really enjoying Delicious in Dungeon right now.
Oh, yes. That one I picked up watching after about 3 or 4 episodes, and it just a surprise. I did not expect to like it, but it's handled very well, and it uses an interesting trope of, what do you do in a dungeon when you don't have the money for supplies?
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like for you gamers out there, and I know it's mostly gamers probably watching us. Delicious in Dungeon, I like it not just because it's an entertaining anime with really cool food and stuff like that, and a good adventure, but also it really does address a cool problem that we've had for years and years with mega dungeons, and that is, what is the ecology of the dungeon? And every part of that anime, every episode seems to address another level of ecology. How do these things live? What do they subsist on? Why are they here? And it gives a purpose to every creature being in that dungeon, and how, they're edible to each other, but also where they can nourish the adventurers themselves. And I mean, I think it's amazing. it's kind of like if I were going to go build a mega dungeon now for sale, I would build it with a mind to what creatures are in it and how do they coexist and why are they here. Whereas like previously, like in old school modules and stuff like that, dungeons were kind of random. We didn't know why this stuff was in there. It's just kind of like, okay, you walk in, there's like 5 orcs in a room and et cetera, et cetera. And it's kind of like, well, why are they here? Oh, I don't know. Oh, because they are.
And I mean, how fitting is it that, with the amount of stuff we see people always want to pull out of anime, that we're finally in a way getting anime to sort of address a lot of the tabletop problems we sort of have in the kind of in the rough area of the hobby. Yeah, because Unwanted Undead is a really good case for, what do adventurers who are turned into undead come back? How can they be played, or what can you do with it? And I like these because these all give me really good ideas for games to run myself. I mean, yeah, people are going to say, "Oh, you got this idea from that." I'm like, I don't care. That's what you do. Aren't all games pretty much like thefts or ideas gleaned from other sources, whether or not it's a famous paperback novel or it's a snippet of a module that you liked or it was something in a TV show or a movie that you enjoyed? I mean, aren't all those things like endemic to why you play and what you run? Oh, you just stole that from Jujutsu Kaisen. Yes, and half the shit we had in dungeons way back in the day was all stolen from movies that we watched. I mean, like I've said more than once, Sword and the Sorcerer, yeah, I was handing people, swords that shoot swords with 3 blades on them because it was cool.
Nice.
But that's what I like about Delicious in Dungeon is like, now we have monsters in it, but not just because they're cool or because, I wanted to use this monster. It's a case of these monsters fit, and here's how they work together with all the other monsters to fit and why they're here. Yeah, that's right. It's not plagiarism if you use the same shade of red as Picasso. That's true.
Yeah, there's a difference between plagiarism. The difference between plagiarism and citation is acknowledgement.
Maliki, yes. I got my copy, my 4K copy right over there on the shelf, man. I pull it down anytime I want to and watch it. And that's also why you need to have physical media, guys. Always have physical media. Because, if I want to watch my copy of Galaxina, it's right over there on the shelf. Anytime I want to remember Dorothy Stratton, just as she was. So Ronan, what else have you been watching lately? Because we've talked about, we've gone and talked about obviously Konosuba's coming up, Fearan. What else?
Oh man, well, hit a few of the big ones on my list already, but I guess I'll bring up the pervy one I've been watching, and that's Tales of Wedding Rings.
Oh, I haven't heard about that. The last really pervy one I think I watched was there was it Redo of Healer.
that one broke me.
I love that one.
I thought you were going to mention the other one, gushing about magical girls.
Oh no.
I haven't seen that one, but the other one I got was what is it, Harem in the Magical World?
Oh, okay, yeah.
That one.
But no, I've been watching Tales of Wedding Rings, and it's been pretty good. It's been a little bit more than PG-13 because there's definitely uncensored nudity within it.
Is it on Crunchyroll or is it on another service?
I do not. Let me see if it.
I'm pretty sure it's not on Crunchyroll. If
it might be High Dive.
High Dive's probably likely.
Might be. It actually says that it's on Crunchyroll. So
holy crap!
External and streaming links, yeah, on Crunchyroll. Whether it has the uncensored version,
there's no way.
Wouldn't know. There's no telling with Crunchyroll.
Tales of Wedding Rings.
Lucky. Yeah. It's been really interesting to watch. So it deals with a girl that came from another world to our world to hide out from the Demon King. And when she had to go back, the guy that she had kind of befriended and created a relationship with over her, I think it was 6 or 7 years there, followed her and professed his love to her, which in their world, because she was a princess, they basically got married instantly, which made him what is now known as the Ring King. Kind of think Thanos.
We got a surprise Dutchman.
Hi.
Howdy.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
Finished a little early with Left Eye Ego, so I figured I'd pop in.
Oh, awesome. You know what? I saved this for you.
Did you know Holland invented chicken and waffles? Really? Before that, you can only get chicken or waffles. But they were the first to put them together. Black people all over the world would be forever grateful to the Dutch for that.
You do know the Dutch started the slave trade.
Those motherfuckers!
Okay, so technically we didn't start it, we just made it
True.
international, okay?
True.
That's the
There you
difference.
go. True. How are you doing, man? Yeah, we already plugged your Kickstarter, and I am so happy that you're succeeding like way further than you did on the last one. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's already blown past the last one, and it's like only been what 5-6 days now. So,
Yeah, you still got 25 days to go. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're gonna run out of stretch goals fast.
yeah. Well, my last stretch goal is 15K. If I hit that, then I don't know. That's like life changing, but we'll see.
What about doing a sci-fi book? Or
Well,
just,
I am, and that stretch goal was hit today. So hey,
We did get an
that's
ego.
a familiar face.
Hey.
Yeah, shout us out. I had to join. Plus,
Yeah.
Deshira says I can't leave this room for 30 minutes. She won't let me watch. Dude, whenever she watches the Bachelor, she won't let me watch it with her because I think it's the worst reality TV show ever. So she's like, do not come out of that room until my show is over. Go on your stream. So I am here. I am here.
you're gonna find out she's actually watching anime without you.
Bro.
Well,
she's like,
no, actually,
no, honey, go in there. All right, I gotta see what's going on with Naruto and Sasuke. I gotta watch them stories.
I should do that. The only two animes I've ever gotten her to work. If you could consider The Last Airbender anime, I'll take it. And Trece, those are the only two animes I've ever gotten her to watch. I know. So it's like, so unless it's that, she's gonna be like, yeah, stay in the room or go watch that. So it's the same way with for the Bachelor show.
Okay, you might want to, and we have already talked about it tonight, but you might want to try Freerin. That's been an incredibly.
I have the
popular
list. Hold on, I put the list out. I have the list that y'all gave me from the last time. Which one is it?
Freerin. I'll put the name in the chat for you.
Yeah. Okay, because I have the list to go from King and Ashua all the way to Street Fighter Alpha, and I was actually just about to buy the it's the Ken Red Ranger mashup action figure. I don't know if y'all heard of that one.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Matt,
I saw it yesterday.
You don't do toys too, do you?
So what?
Said you don't do toys too, do you?
I do certain ones. Like I don't have the space or the money for them, so I look at them from afar. But every now and again, I get some that are like really cool. Like what was it? Super 7 has been doing some Power Rangers stuff. So I've got the Green Ranger, Super 7. I've got the Green Ranger Funko Pop. Just anything that kind of catches my eye that's a reasonable price.
That's the trick. Dang, that one is nice. Has that got dust on it?
Yeah, that's nice.
Maybe.
That's what my wife gets me.
It's all right. I got a bunch of miniatures up on my shelf that have dust on them too.
So dude, the reason my wife made me close these doors now is because they were collecting dust. She was like, "Don't do this. Close them up."
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to derail the chat. I'm sorry.
No,
you're fine. Since we had Matt on, Matt's talking a little anime with us. Victor, are you or Left Eye watching any?
Not currently. I need to go back and watch My Hero Academy. Like, I need to catch up. I want to watch Freewind. because that looks
Yeah.
really fun.
It's good.
And then there's always the old school that I like going back to occasionally, like watch Cowboy Bebop like at least once every 5 years. So yeah.
I kind of wanted to watch the Street Fighter Alpha one. I think the hard thing for me is like when people throw me in with an anime, I don't know what's happening, and I don't do well with surprises at the beginning. So I gotta ease my way into it. So I can watch Street Fighter Alpha first. It'll ease into other avenues. Like I was watching the one where it was about gods that were fighting in a tournament or something like that.
Oh, Ragnarok.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that. I mean, it's just the fact is, like, I think, yeah. So the thing is, I couldn't find where I left this. I got to go back in and start at episode 3. But those are the ones I'd be watching.
Ragnarok pissed me off so much. But
really, okay, I'll watch out then.
I need to watch Gate soon. Gate, because that's completely like my thing, and I've never watched it. It's about the Japanese self-defense forces invading a fantasy world.
Oh,
so.
That sounds right up your alley. That and the one you should watch then, if you like that, Victor, is probably Solo Leveling.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. But yeah, it's like a portal opens in Tokyo, and like this fantasy army comes out and like starts killing people. So the Japanese, they go in to take revenge. So it's like I remember seeing a scene where it's like knights on like a castle wall like trying to defend, and an Apache helicopter just like most them down.
As it would.
Yeah.
There was an old Sonny Chiba movie where what?
At this point, Sonny Chiba is part of the drinking game.
He is. Do I mention Sonny Chiba that much? Okay, fine. I'm a Sonny Chiba fan. I admit it. Okay, I don't care. But
that's how I got you to watch. That's how I got you to watch One Piece.
Yes, it is. God damn it. You totally set me up on that one. Hey, Sonny Chiba's son is it? God damn it. Now I gotta fucking watch this.
I mean, nothing wrong with Sonny Chiba.
True. But Sonny Chiba was it's a Japanese film where a group of Japanese self-defense guys, defense forces guys, they are on a Jeep. They end up going through a gate or a time portal. They end up going back to old feudal Japan. And fighting a bunch of samurai, and it's called GI Samurai.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Cool.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's funky.
I love stuff like that.
You gotta watch Drifters.
Oh yeah,
Drifters is good.
Is there a new season out? Because I've only ever seen the first season, and then it took.
They're not gonna be doing a second season.
Oh, that sucks because it kind of ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, the 12 episodes is all we're gonna get. So
yeah, I watched that. That was really cool.
Yeah.
It had
it ended with a World War II or World War I, World War II fighter pilot like fighting a dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a plane.
Yeah, that Butch Cassidy and the Sundance kids as like characters.
Nobunaga was there.
Yeah.
Just all kinds of craziness went on in that show. I might actually go back and watch that.
I had a question. Did any of y'all see the Miyoto Musashi anime on Netflix? They were fighting demons or something like that. I don't know if that was him.
Are you talking about Onimusha?
I think so. Yes, that one. Yes.
I haven't watched it yet, but it is on my to watch list.
I've watched it all the way through.
Is that based on the?
What did you think? I mean, I watched it all the way through. What did you think?
So, I think they did it right because I mean, obviously they can't do Onimusha as it was in the games because of the way that they did the games with the actual likenesses of people.
Oh, it's based on the game. Okay.
So doing a prequel to the games, I think it was done right. And the way that it ended was done good as well. I'm curious at where they will take it after this. But yeah, it did really good. Oh yeah, that was just the prequel. That's like entire new Onimusha lore. I mean, the game you have Onimusha 1, 2, 3, and 4 of all that lore to go through.
I forgot there was a 4. I remember there was 3 for sure though.
Those are the
Yeah,
old
4's
PlayStation games, right?
not really good.
Oh,
I played this game. This is the game that it's based off of.
Yes.
I had
Holy
one
They did the
crap.
first one remade for PC,
Mm-hmm.
but again, because the main character was made off of an actual person, they can't like rights and stuff. It's really hard to get it redone. And then 3 had that French actor guy. I can't remember his freaking name.
Reno?
No, yeah, Jean Reno.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Oh, him! Wow.
And
Yeah, I
the
think I had
second one,
first or second one on PlayStation 2.
the second one is the one who has the Japanese actor. Damn, I just bought some of his movies. Give me a sec. I'll call it up. Not Takakura Ken, although he was good too. Yusaku Matsuda, who died from cancer back in '89. Literally, Black Rain was the last film that he did.
Oh, Lone Wolf and Cub guy? Yeah.
No.
Oh.
He was in there too.
Yeah.
Tomisaburo Wakayama. Yeah, he was in there too, but he was an old guy in that one.
Yeah, okay,
But-
yeah.
But Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny, Jubei Yagyu is modeled after Yusaku Matsuda.
Yeah.
And he was like a classic Japanese tough guy. I've got like his the game trilogy, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, they used
Yeah,
to
I've
be
seen that guy. Yeah.
like all the games used to be cheap, and then what was it? The WotC thing happened, and they've all kind of went up to well beyond what they're worth paying for.
Yeah, well, you can thank Sweet Baby for some of that because
Can I have
Yep.
quick question? I have no idea about Sweet Baby. I thought people were calling each other kinky pet names. What is it and what's going on with that? Because that's all I've heard is Sweet Baby this, Sweet Baby that. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, well, we're a little short on time, but I'll explain it to you. I'll give you the 10-minute version. As you know, a lot of games, a lot of comic books and other things run on money, and a lot of times they need funding. So that means they need to make loans, or they need to take out loans from banks, right? Well, the problem is a lot of these banks are operating on ESG, which is environmental, society, social, and everything else.
Okay.
They basically they evaluate every company and every need based on the scores that they get back for all these things.
It's a social credit score.
Basically it's a social credit score that banks use to determine, hey, we're not going to loan you money, or we'll just loan you enough money, or we'll give you some terrible rates based on what your company is doing to help promote, the environment, social justice, and all these other gender equality, things like that. Yeah, Klaus bucks. I'll show you. I'll show you a funny on that here in a minute. But so anyway, like I said, a lot of these companies needed to borrow money, and in order to get their ESG scores high enough to get the loans that they needed, they would hire firms like Sweet Baby Inc., who are basically outrage farmers who would go into their studios and say, well, okay, you need to have more diversity in your games, so you need to have more black people, more Latino people, more transgendered people. You need to have more women. You need to have women in more dominant roles. You need to take out this language or that language to make it less offensive. You need to remove these things because they're toxic, etc. In other words, they pussified a lot of the games that we enjoy, and they ruined them.
Is that what it's coming from? Okay.
Yeah.
Would it be apt to say that it's as if Anita Sarkeesian won?
Literally, it is the product of Anita Sarkeesian. She was part of these companies to begin with, and she pushed a lot of these narratives.
I'm trying to figure out who the hell she is.
So Anita Sarkeesian was this feminist activist from about 10 years ago, because we're at about the 10-year anniversary of Gamergate. Wait, let me get the ordering.
Oh my god.
Gamergate.
Okay. When y'all have the Gamergate, the 10-year anniversary Gamergate stream, let me know, because I have so many questions because I don't know what the hell's coming on with that either.
Well,
so
well,
all the questions I keep going, I was like, "What? Who is that?"
Ego, you need to hang out with us when Grim is on, because Grim directly came out of the Gamergate mess and he was canceled at that time and attacked at that time. So he has more information directly on it, including an entire book that he wrote on it.
He's Elrond saying, "I was there, Gandalf, 3,000 years ago."
Yes,
I need a link for the book then, and because I have so many questions because it's just me. I'm just like, you bother me, I'm gonna turn the game off. That's kind of how I would deal with it. But I didn't.
There's a movie out about it.
But yeah. So anyway, Sweet Baby Inc. was behind a lot of this stuff. Well, the last straw was this latest Injustice League or whatever the hell that was called. What's it called? Suicide Squad. Yeah, was Suicide Squad. That was the last game that they worked on, and everybody was so outraged by it that not only did they find out who was behind it, which was Sweet Baby Inc., but a curator out of Brazil, a Steam curator, in other words, a guy who looks at games and stuff like that, got to looking at all the different games that they were involved with, and this is publicly known information that's available on their website. They tell you what games they worked on, and as a result, he put up a list in a group called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected to let people know, hey, Sweet Baby Inc. worked on these games.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Sweet Baby found out about this, and rather than, either own up to it or let it go, which they should have, they jumped on it. And the backlash from it has been amazing. They have gotten their...
How'd they jump on it?
What did they think
they tried to get him canceled? They were going to try to get him canceled.
All the guy's doing is making a curated list.
Yeah.
Something that they already have on their website of what they're doing. And it's just on Steam. Like... whoever was there thinking that, let's just get this taken down. What sense does that make?
Well, the argument is makes people, it causes people to harass us and send us death threats and stuff. So that's basically the angle they were going with, the usual tactic. But yeah,
this is no different than a wiki page on them.
Yeah,
right.
The thing is, though, what they would have had on their website would have been one of the things nobody would have ever looked at outside of when they went to try to sell their services to video games to basically to go and do the whole protection racket. Don't you want to be a good little activist? It sure be awful if someone called you racist and then all of your people were harassed and you didn't get all these little payday loans.
Yeah.
Sure, got a nice game there. Be ashamed if it was racist.
They do the same thing PETA does.
Yes. Yes. They are. That's what I say. They are outrage farmers. When your business is based on making money on outrage, you find things to be outraged about, no matter how big, how small.
So they were on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That was them?
Yes.
Yep.
Wow.
So they blew this group up. What started when I first saw it, it was at 10,000 people. It's at 168,000 people. So
they did this twice, and
since Sunday night, this has gone up another 60,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now all it's doing is simply saying these games were all made involving Sweet Baby Inc. And it does not recommend you buy them. That's all it does. This is the exact same list that Sweet Baby basically put on their website, with the difference saying they're using this on the Steam store page where people who would be buying games are going to see this if they're already following it.
Yeah. You know what? That actually tracks with Gotham Knights because that's a game where Batman's supposed to be dead anyway, right?
Yep. So
yeah,
a couple of games are Tales of Kenzara.
Nobody's heard of
that. Is that part of the Tales series? No, I don't think so.
No.
Name the famous ones. Like Valhalla is a big one because it's Assassin's Creed and Gotham Knights.
Valhalla, Gotham Knights. Yeah. Let's see. Of course, the Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance.
That game was horrible.
Yeah. Please don't say they put black people in a game called Dark Alliance.
They did.
Well, they had a
Oh my god.
They had a dark elf.
Yeah, they did have a.
And of course, Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are those the only games so far? I thought they had more.
The only other one that I know of that I've heard of was this game called Goodbye Volcano High, but it was one of those like indie darlings of like you're playing dinosaur furries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What?
So Greg probably owns it.
Are they, and the people that are doing this, are they from America?
Yeah, mostly.
Probably. Well, it's probably a lot of your big coastal cities types.
Let's be honest, that level of wokeness is mostly an American thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
We still don't know who, I don't know who worked on Saints Row, but my understanding for why Saints Row sucked so bad was because the original game that they wanted to make got basically torpedoed by Deep Silver themselves trying to fit their ESG penis into the game and make it nice and safe for everybody, which is why that game not only tanked, but they were giving it away for free on Epic Games around, I want to say, Christmas time, and I didn't bother to get it because I'm like, why? I don't need to put this piece of shit on my hard drive for free. I'm never going to play it. Yeah. Oh, Sweet Baby's located in Montreal. Yeah. Oh, that Canada. Tracks. That tracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Starfield was pretty terrible, and I think actually Sweet Baby worked on that one too.
That's what I've been hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I have heard, I haven't seen any hard confirmation of it yet, but there's a story out there that the company that made that Helldivers 2 was asked at one point by someone to put a trans flag into the game for, a cosmetic to show their support, bend the knee to the cause. And the company then just banned that guy.
Mm-hmm.
They said, no.
Yeah,
because they want to be about the escapism and lean into what the aesthetic of what they're doing. They don't want to be removed from the game and being about the current modern day causes.
Oh, and Spider-Man 2 with the Miles Morales and the incorrect Cuban flags where the Puerto Rican flag should have been, the transgender pride flags and all these other things. Let me come out real quick and say, I do support transgender people. I support trans rights. That's cool. I'm not against that. I'm not even against seeing it in a game, to be quite honest. But as long as it makes sense. I mean, I'm not sure how it makes any sense in Helldivers, for one thing, because that game has like almost nothing to do with any kind of earthly reality.
Well, what they do...
It's basically Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Fighting bugs and robots.
So what they do, it's like in that Mass Effect Andromeda, and there's like an NPC you talk to, and like literally within 3 lines, they're like, "Oh, by the way, I'm trans. I used to be a man or whatever." And it's like, no real trans person talks like that.
No.
But they do shit like that.
They make it sound like they're vegans, vegans or bicyclists, where that's gonna be the first thing they tell you about.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Every trans person I've known will probably tell you that they're trans.
Yeah.
I mean, just as a point of principle, but it's not like that's their entire identity. I mean, at least not the real ones that I've met. I mean, the ones on Twitter, I mean, who knows? But
well, I mean, you do get the activist types where they do make the cause their identity. That's all they wind up being. Like they are that and nothing more. And that's it's such a tragedy to see people behave like this because
Surly, they are flipping out about Stellar Blade. They're flipping out hardcore about Stellar Blade. Everybody, Hassan and everybody else is going after that.
What's that about Stellar Blade?
That's a PlayStation only game.
Yeah, Stellar Blade features a Korean model that they modeled the main character off of. I mean, like body and everything. And she has a very nice ass, for one thing, which you get to see a lot of in the game.
We're talking. Okay.
And they don't like that. They think it's over-sexualized.
Oh, is that the one that were trying to make her chest smaller, too? Is that her?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And ugly her up a little bit. Yeah.
That's a travesty.
What were you saying, Caster?
Oh, I was saying, basically Bayonetta.
Yeah.
If you want, I can play something real quick. I got like a 30-second pre-order trailer.
Sure. As long as it's not got any music that'll get us.
That should be fine.
Should be. So, wow, that actually looks like a game that might be fun.
Yeah. What's that like?
Dead ass.
Dead ass.
I want to know more about the mech stuff.
Yeah, those look kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. I
Ooh, April
appreciate
26th.
Japanese games or whatever. Is it Korean, Japanese? I don't know. But either way, Asian games having just having fun with stuff. It's like, yeah, this looks cool. Let's put it in.
Mm-hmm.
Asses and hot asses and fucking cool robots. That's all I want. And guns.
Speaking of games that are coming out, I think we have a little bit of time to be able to show this off since we're already over time. Matt, I want to be cognizant of your time. I don't know how much time you've got left.
Oh, I'm good, man. Go right ahead.
Okay. This popped up today, and I got the site for it too, but I'm kind of curious what you guys think of this.
Arrakis is a test. Few survive it. Arrakis is a test. Few survive it. But the humans that do awaken.
These are the same people who make the Conan Exiles.
So I love Conan Exiles. I used to play that pretty religiously. Just if it's more like that, it sounds pretty fun. But I did see something about it today on Twitter where they're removing all the religious elements from Dune, which I mean that's Dune. That's like Dune is very much about like weird future religion and like the galactic jihad and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how much clickbait that is, but yeah.
Yeah, this is the devs are explaining the alt history approach to this.
What is that supposed to mean, the alt history?
Well, basically, they liked all the stuff, but they didn't want to keep any of the significant parts of Frank Herbert's books.
Yeah, so basically,
that's not Dune. That's
yeah,
dust.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the Dune set dressing without the Dune story.
Yeah,
that shit don't like dust. I just call that Dune. That's dust.
I think long term it's gonna have some potential. People love these survival games.
I don't know.
The Dune movies. I think it has potential. I think if they can kind of keep it going, it might be able to kind of survive in a way like the Conan Exiles is. I think it could do well.
I don't know. Like I've had to have someone explain Dune to me 4 times. So believe me, I am not an expert on anything, and I still don't get it. But I'm like, what if I wanted to be a Mentat or a Bene Gesserit? Like I don't be running the fucking desert when I could just calculate stuff and run the empire that way. Like I don't know why I don't get that choice to do that though. If it's open world, why can't I have open characters?
what they should have done is just like the Dune universe itself literally has like 10,000 years of history, and that's just its own like historical account. That's not even counting all the stuff before it. Set it like thousands of years before everything. Set it when the Fremen first show up on Dune and start like setting up the society and stuff.
Yeah,
there's like plenty of stuff you can play with without being like, yeah, it's the Dune books, but we're removing everything that makes it Dune.
Well, this is
kind of distracted watching that guy brush a toilet in VR.
Not gonna lie, got me.
Well, let me talk about this a little bit. Okay, so this is supposed to be set in Awakening will zero in on the Butlerian Jihad, which is the historical war of the Dune universe between humans and artificial intelligence.
Okay, so this is set early.
Yeah, it's supposed to be set way earlier than there. And the Butlerian Jihad was actually pretty cool. You can read the books on it, but which were not written by Herbert, but by his son. I think they were taken from his notes and things.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are things that it says like it sidesteps the religion aspect, and then it says something which kind of puzzles me because it's kind of strange. But it says where does it say it? I just saw it. Yeah. It says, okay, Dune is in many ways nothing without religion. It's a series built on, amongst other things, a borrowing of Islamic themes and is very explicitly engaged with the complexities of religious war. Mm-hmm. One of the books is literally called Dune Messiah. I don't know.
It's more Christian. It's like Dune's more like at least
like
the main
almost,
character from it's almost
like
Christian.
Jewish.
It's like John the Baptist before Jesus.
Yeah.
At least I thought that's what the dude all this is.
Yeah. And yes, Funcom is owned by Tencent Corporation.
Mm.
It isn't Dune without religion and coke addiction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true also, Surly. Yeah, join the free persons. I hope not. Spice is old. Yo. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be good or not.
I mean, I think it's going to be DOA. I mean, what point is there to have a Dune game? I don't see a market for it out there. I mean, I'm sure it's going to have its niche fan base, but it's an MMO, right?
It is.
I don't see it pulling people away from World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy. I don't see it happening. Like, you're in a desert setting. Granted, I don't know the world of Dune too well, but I couldn't see it. Like, just from that trailer, it didn't make me want to play it at all.
That's the other concern, because the world of Arrakis is like 95% desert.
Yeah, there's no wood to construct shelters out of.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Water.
What hitch are they trying to get people in? Like, it seems like the first movie was this first remake movie was a hit, and somebody was like, yeah, let's almost like those movie tie-in games, that we used to have all the time, and then they moved away from. But why they chose MMO is insane.
Well, I'm not sure how much of an MMO it actually is. If it's like more like Conan Exiles, then
a massive multiplayer online.
Yeah, I would much more have understood it if it was a single player game.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
My first thought was
Moose. No, they actually. But we'll go back to that comment real quick. No, they don't even wipe their asses with sand. No, they basically poop in their still suit, which recycles the moisture.
Yeah,
like, any amount of water that's lost.
No,
it makes it a tasty snack.
The one thing that I thought at first it was kind of like, oh no, I mean, if they're not going to make this to where every single person in there is going to be like, it's like, oh look, now everybody can be the Kwisatz Haderach, with everybody getting the Force.
I just want to be a what the fuck are they called? Oh fuck, my brain's escaping me.
It looks like the story is like, you're a Sadukar or something.
Yeah,
who
that's what I want to be.
Yeah, who basically crash lands or is thrown down on Dune, and for some reason the Fremen, instead of murdering you,
Yeah.
which I don't get, but okay. Because the Sardukar are not really like nice, and the Fremen are not necessarily nice.
They're basically like desert Wakandans,
but meaner.
Arrakis forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you read the first book, you're like, yeah, the Fremen, yay, rebels. And then, you read the other books, and it's like, oh, never mind, they're the space SS. They kill more people than like any.
They
Oh yeah, Paul basically turns into like Darth Vader and becomes the literal God Emperor that people worship, and billions die in his name.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
He's not a hero.
But I mean, that's the thing about the Dune series. Like, that's kind of like, Herbert's whole point of everything is kind of like, people will always fuck things up. Mm-hmm. I mean, like his sister Alia, who isn't even in the new movie, from what I understand, has like almost no agency in it, despite the fact that she plays a major role in like the second book, where she becomes like Alia of the Blades and is the one basically leading all these crusades against everybody else, or jihads, or whatever you want to call them. I don't know.
Well, in the second movie, isn't she still like a child?
What? Part 2?
Yeah.
She would be. I mean, I don't know if she's even in it, from what I understand. They kind of...
yeah. Well, even in the original, the 80s, she kind of only shows up at the end and like, kills the old Bene Gesserit witch, but yeah.
Saint Alia of the Knife. That's her. That's who she becomes, because she's basically, when she's born, she's got all the powers and abilities and everything of a senior Reverend Mother. So it's like,
The funny thing is, I don't think even Legendary knows what they have either, because here, I just pulled this off of their website. This is a shirt they're selling where they're basically trying to sell Paul as being the Messiah, the one who points the way. Like, you guys might want to read Messiah.
Yeah,
that doesn't exactly turn out too well.
Yeah, Ali is in it most of the time as a fetus. Yeah, up until her mother drinks the water of life and has a premature birth. Yeah. Shit. See, this is what pisses me off. Okay, yes, I haven't seen the second movie. I did watch the first one in the theater, no less. But from what I'm hearing, a lot of, high-profile YouTubers really enjoyed it. I mean, including Echo Chamberlain, who we like a lot. He apparently liked it pretty well. But then I have, friends like Gary and a few other ones who watched it, and they say it absolutely is terrible. Like, it bears no resemblance to Herbert whatsoever.
Well, so I've gone and seen it.
You did.
So I can at least talk on my own behalf.
Good. Do it. Tell me.
The thing is we are having to make some sacrifices and changes for the sake of the adaptation. And I do think that while it is important to try to stay true to what came in the film, in the books, in the original source material, we have to acknowledge and admit that there will be changes that have to be made along the way. There were some things I didn't think were changed for the better, like the fact that Aaliyah is not in it at all.
Okay, she isn't in it at all.
Well, yes and no, because Aaliyah is a fetus, except we get like a flash. We get like a vision of like the adult Aaliyah.
But she's not at the end. Well, I guess it hasn't gotten to the end yet, right? Where he like deposes the emperor. I guess that's going to be in the third movie.
So we do get him deposing the emperor. That's basically like the very last bit.
Yeah, because Alia's supposed to be in that as a kid. Like, she kills the Reverend Mother.
They condense the events of this movie, which should have taken years, down to about 6 months. So she's not even born yet by the end of this movie.
That's silly.
That's silly.
I think that unfortunately, like, the way they kind of deal with Baron Harkonnen is so wasted. The Emperor is just kind of really muted. You get almost nothing with Christopher Walken. They could have done so much more with him as the Emperor.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Javier Bardem,
Uh-huh.
the guy who's playing Stilgar, is I think one of the absolute best parts of the film. Like I loved his journey in this.
Well, he's a great actor.
Yeah, well, you're seeing a man who's been this devout believer of this has this faith and belief, and it's all coming true right before his eyes. You're seeing a devout man who's finding his faith was not for nothing, who's seeing that it has all paid off, and his Messiah has come.
Yeah, Dundermoose, this is what I hear. Yeah, the navigators aren't in it, so the significance of the fact that without the spice, no space travel can occur. So its importance is not there.
A couple of other things I didn't like were the fact that like we didn't get a whole lot of desert porn in this. Like there's some nice shots, but nothing is quite like as beautiful as what we saw in the first movie, or God forbid, Lawrence of Arabia. That is truly desert porn.
Yeah, that was a great show. That's a great movie.
Paul has some good moments. I was seeing glimpses of what I felt to be the Anakin Skywalker falling into the dark side. You can see hints in there where he knows he sees the path before him, that if he goes down this path and keeps being this messiah to these people and gives into it, it will directly lead to millions and millions of people, billions dying in his name, countless harm caused, and all while he's ultimately trying to seek out his revenge. There's a lot of interesting potential in here. It's a movie I like. I'll watch again probably, but there are problems with the film.
I just hear a lot of stuff about like that they cut out like really like iconic lines, and they kind of did that in the first one too. Like I really enjoyed the first one, but there were like bits that I remember from the books that I really loved that weren't in it, or they just glossed over. And it's like that was like a perfect opportunity to like use that line, and they just didn't. Like one thing that stood out to me, like one of my favorite parts in the first book is when Paul has to like for the first time like duel that Fremen guy.
Yeah,
that's like doubting him, and like they make a point because Paul has been training like for the shield fighting his whole life. He does like the slow attacks, and the Fremen is like, is he like toying with the guy? Like they're confused by that. And I really love that scene in the book, and then in the movie, like they boil that down to like, oh yeah, no, he's never killed before, and it's like no, like I like the fact that his whole life he was training for like this very specific combat style that the nobles did, and the Fremen they don't do that. They fucking they just do straight up knife fighting, and yeah.
This would have ultimately, I think, been better served as a like an HBO series. Like if we could have done this in like 8 hours, we could have probably done a better job of filling that story in. Yeah. And like if we basically did Game of Thrones, it would have so much potential.
Well, instead we got two very overblown films that are, as I said before, they're like AI art. They look really pretty and they're totally forgettable and soulless.
They're a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
they've got the problems, but for what they are, they're fine. The stuff with the Harkonnens is visually stunning. I think it was really impressive seeing the way that was kind of all washed out. You're seeing their home planet of Gidi Prime. It's not quite obvious, but it's like they're so like chemically like. They've gone and basically doped them up with so many drugs and so many chemicals and all these weird like experiment stuff that they look all weird. These like pale albinos. They're a bunch of it's like Victor as a whole people.
Ew, except hairless. It's just not nice.
I just look this pale on camera, okay? I'm a little bit more tan in real life.
He's like Left Eye Ego's color in real life,
Yeah,
exactly. Victor's black.
Okay. All right, I see. I look forward to the surprise when you come visit.
Yeah.
Also, Ironcast is just as pale as me. It just has like more beard to kind of contrast it.
Van Harkonnen. Oh my gosh. Victor's fate.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we need to close up. Matt has to leave, and we're overtime anyway. But thank y'all very much for hanging out with us today on Tuesday, and come hang out with us again on Saturday because we'll have Grim and everybody, and it'll be more gaming focused. We will have Black Oath Entertainment. We will have Alex T talking about his latest Kickstarter, which is pretty awesome. And who knows, man? We'll probably get into more of the Sweet Baby stuff because we'll have Grim on board to drop in his 2 pence, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, y'all take care. Thank you very much. And if you're catching us on the rebound, hey, thanks. And don't forget to watch Left Eye Ego's stream with Victor on it. Okay?
Yeah. And
give
back
us
Modern Necessities. Give me money. I need
yes. And back Victor's game, please. Y'all take care, and we'll see you later.
Bye.